Dating apps are extrovert propaganda. They're designed by people who think networking events are fun. So I built dating apps for the rest of us. The people who consider canceling plans a form of self-care. The ones who have been typing for 20 minutes just to say hi. I'm Amir and I build apps. And today we're building the dating apps that should exist. Number 1, Ghoster, where matches automatically disappear so you don't have to. 2, Excuse Generator Pro, crafts elaborate date cancellations. 3, Silent Dates, match with people just to exist near. 4, Profile Writer, AI writes your dating profile based on your Netflix history. And yes, these are real apps that we are actually building. If you're going to be antisocial, you might as well find someone to be antisocial with. Let's be honest. You've matched with someone, talked for 3 messages, then both of you just stopped. Now they sit in your matches forever, a monument to your social anxiety. That's why we're building Ghoster, a dating app that does your emotional labor for you. So we quickly create the Xcode project. So we make sure iOS app is selected and we just name it Ghoster. And we'll leave the rest of the settings as default. We give it a path, so I'm gonna save it on my desktop. And I quickly go over to Windsurf. I open the project in Windsurf. So we choose Claude Sonnet as our AI model. And now we want to basically normalize healthy avoidance in this app. Okay, so I've copy and pasted the prompt for you. So I hit enter and see the magic happen. So it starts by creating a to-do list, set up project structure and core models, create match expiration system with timers, implement ghost levels and achievement system, build UI for swiping and chat, add reincarnation mode and mutual ghost features, create settings and profile views. The achievement system is in particular very fascinating to me. It has a first ghost, speed ghoster, professional ghoster. Oh my god. It gives you some objectives apparently too. Complete your first ghost. And this is our view model. This is just some mock data that it's adding for us. The chat system is in particular fascinating. And it also creates this very informative README file that basically explains everything that our app is capable of doing. Explains the achievement system and everything else, the screen that it created, the design features, purple and blue gradient theme, and everything else. So it's still modifying our content view. So now it's trying to test our app internally and see if there are any error messages associated. You see that the build is succeeded, meaning that our app will actually run, but it's still no guarantee how well it runs. So we're going to have to verify that on our own. So while it's creating this README file or quick start guide, we accept the changes and quickly go and see how the app actually looks. And it's acceptable for an MVP. I actually kind of like it, but let us actually run it in a real emulator. Okay, so the actual app is slightly better than the preview. So there are some UI issues which we can easily fix, but it has a nice UI so far. Alex 26 San Francisco, which is assuming that I'm in San Francisco. The bottom navigator tab is under this thing, so we're gonna fix that too. Let's just go to profile tab. Yeah, it doesn't let us start ghosting. Oh, okay, so that was actually our onboarding screen, so we're gonna try and fix it, but I think the rest of the app should work fine. Oh, you can send a heart to Taylor. It's assuming that. Okay, let's go to matches, see how it is. You matched. Hey, let's see what happens. See, it gives us a 24-hour period before it automatically starts ghosting. And again on the discovery menu, so I see that this is very, I like this animation. This is really cool. So it's like a bunch of cards in your hand that you're basically swiping through. So if we could also upload some pictures for these people. So first I'm gonna fix that UI thing. All right, so we're gonna go back to Windsurf and we're gonna just simply explain that The onboarding view is somehow covering the contents of the app. Can you fix this by blurring or hiding the contents while on onboarding? Hit enter and let it do its thing. The issue is that the onboarding is overlaying the tabs, but they're still visible underneath. That's exactly the issue we are having. So we want to make sure that one is fixed. So it says it was just 7 lines of code that it changed. It's putting in opacity for the content view and the duration when we basically hit the complete button for the onboarding. So it says it's fixed. Let's go back to Xcode and see if it's really fixed. Run the app again. Build failed. Nice. So there's some issues. So we basically hit Command and A, Command and C, go back to windsurf, and we just tell it the build failed. See the logs below and let us see what it does. I see the issue. Okay, I'm glad that it sees the issue at least. It's just a 1-line fix. See, the issue was here and also here. So let us run it one more time to see if it fails or succeeds. Okay, build succeeded. We just accept the changes. We go back to Xcode, run the app again. Okay, build succeeded. Simulator. Okay, this is exactly what we wanted. We wanted to so that the content of our app is kind of blurred during the onboarding so that they wouldn't overlap. So we're gonna just easily swipe. But as you see there, the fonts are kind of a bit vague, so we're gonna fix that later. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're gonna suffice it to this section. But I would challenge you, I would encourage you to download the code. I provide all of my codes for free, so you can check the link in the description and just download the code repository from my GitHub and try to fix the issues or change the app or modify it the way you like. And actually you can then tag me or send me a screenshot. App number 2, Excuse Generator Pro. True story. I once told someone I couldn't go on a date with them because my goldfish had anxiety. I don't have a goldfish. They knew I didn't have a goldfish, but we both pretended the goldfish existed. That's when I realized we need professional grade excuses, like military grade emotional defense systems. So we're gonna quickly create the iOS project. We're gonna call it Excuse Generator Pro. We're gonna create it on desktop or wherever you'd like. You can create yours. And we go to Windsurf, open the project in Windsurf. We're gonna open Cascade. And we're gonna quickly start prompting. So we're gonna use this prompt. This is an iOS project. Create an app for dates that generates believable detailed excuses based on urgency level, remembers previous excuses, So we're gonna hit enter and let it do its magic. Again, it creates the to-do list. This is really funny. It's also creating evidence for the excuses, pretending that the more evidence you have, the more believable your excuse is. Okay, let's see what's doing. It's working on the views. That's doing its final test to make sure everything works. Okay, it had an error, so it's gonna fix it. Finally, build succeeded. So we're gonna accept these changes. We go to Xcode. All right, that's not bad. So let me just run the app. It's actually super nice, given the fact that we didn't give any graphical assets to that, but you're more than welcome to do that. So the link is in the description. Feel free to download and modify this app, add some graphical assets. And so we're gonna quickly go over what we have in this app. So category health. So we're gonna create a health excuse based on urgency of, say, medium, and generate excuse. See what it created. Doctor's appointment. I have a doctor's appointment, blah, blah, blah. So we're gonna create like a work excuse with an emergency level. Emergency meeting called. My boss just called an emergency meeting that I absolutely cannot miss. Okay, that's nice. And this is the history of the excuses you generated. And you can actually, I think, schedule excuses for the following days, which is interesting. And a mutual excuse if you want to both cancel. What is really interesting about this app is that it has learned that weird specific excuses work better than vague ones. It's just basic human psychology, I guess. So we're going to move on to the next app. You don't want to miss that one. This one is my favorite. What if dating apps, but without the talking? Just parallel existence. Think about it. The best relationships are when you can actually sit in comfortable silence. Why not start there? There's this thing called parallel play in psychology. Kids playing near each other but not together. Adults need this too. So we are creating this app called Silent Dates. Create a new project, select an iOS app, click Next, call it Silent Dates, and don't worry about the rest, just make sure SwiftUI and Swift is selected. Next, give it a path and open the project in Windsurf. So we open the project in Windsurf, and on Cascade Code, we use this prompt. I will copy the prompt in the description so you can use it freely. This is an iOS app. Create this revolutionary app with these features, match based on preferred silence activities, such as reading, gaming, working, etc. And we do the vibe check, comfort meter, stuff like that. And finally, I added this prompt to make the UI beautiful and follow the best UI UX practices. So I'm gonna hit enter. Okay, so I skipped the building inside the simulator by Windsurfs because I want to test it myself. I accept the code and go to Xcode and run the app. All right, so the build fails. Apparently we need to be doing some debugging here, and that's easy. So the moment the build fails, you can actually copy the error messages by hitting Command and A and then Command and C to copy them, and then you're gonna paste the error message inside Windsurf so it can fix your errors for you. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Command A and now Command C, and we'll go back to Windsurf. Okay, we say our iOS build fails. These are the error messages below. Can you fix them and make sure the app runs smoothly? Use iPhone Air Simulator for building the project. And that is just my preference. And I'm gonna Command and V the error code, basically pasting it, and hit enter. Okay, it says I see the issue, meaning that it's aware of our issue and it's gonna fix it. Okay, we hit run, although it's not using iPhone Air, if you noticed. It's using iPhone 15 as a simulator, but we're gonna just say okay, see what it does. Okay, now next time it's using iPhone Air, which is ironic. Okay, there are 3 failures, so it's gonna build again to see the detailed error messages. So it says it has found the issue, so I hope he's right. Okay, it made some changes to our onboarding view. Okay, finally, the build is successful now. Great. Okay, so we're gonna skip this part, accept all, and go back to Xcode to run the app ourselves. Okay, wonderful. It has fixed all our errors. So it's gonna open the simulator right now. Okay, so this is our onboarding screen. Begin. Okay, and it's gonna ask us some questions. So I enjoy coding and gaming in silence. This is interesting. So it's actually gathering some basic information so it can give us the relevant matches. So your name, I'm gonna enter my name and I'm gonna leave the rest. Oh, I cannot. So I'm gonna tell it I am 29. All right. So these are the dates that I have for today. Sophia, peacefully. There's another person here, Alex, who is peacefully coding. That's interesting. And it's actually very similar to our Ghoster app, but with a slight different functionality. And there you can see the upcoming dates and stuff. And this is unironically what I want. There is no pressure to perform, no forced conversation about your passion for travel, just 2 people being alone together. And this is just amazing. I definitely need some work, so I'm gonna leave it up to you to download the project codes from my GitHub from the link in the description and improve this app and make a screenshot and tag me. I will actually run the app again just to make sure everything is all right. Okay, so here we go again. This is our onboarding page. Okay, so these are the matches and there were only 2 matches apparently, which is odd a bit. This means that the mock data that we entered in during the development is not enough probably. So we can make more, we can create more user profiles, so it can give us more matches actually. And that's it basically. And that's really interesting that Claude has added functionality for premium dates, and you can actually pay $9.99 per month for background music sync and advanced status updates, detailed analytics, etc. So we're going to move on to the next and final app for the day. Your Netflix history knows the real you, not the love hiking you, the watch The Office 47 times you, the documentary about serial killers at 3 a.m. you. So let's stop lying and let Netflix write our dating profiles for us. Alright, so let's start this project. So we're going to create the iOS project and we're going to call it Netflix Profile Writer. Accept the defaults and create the project in the path that we like. We go to Windsurf, we open the project in Windsurf. Alright, so we're going to use this prompt here. And by the way, the prompt is available in the description, so you don't have to worry about it. This is an iOS project. Create an app that analyzes your Netflix viewing history, generates brutally honest dating profiles, after dark section, compatibility matching, warning flags, green flags, deal breakers, etc. And I'm gonna end it by saying that make the UI amazing and follow the best UI UX practices for UI UX implementation. So we're gonna hit enter and we're gonna let Windsurf and Claude do their magic. Okay, so it's almost done. I just accepted the changes and I'm gonna go to, oh, it looks amazing. So let me just run the app on an iPhone Air. Love the color theme. Okay, build succeeded. That's a green flag. So this is our onboarding screen. Load, sample, and analyze. It's basically some mock data that is inside the code, and it's basically some made up data that Claude actually generated based on like some hypothetical Netflix watching history. So let me see. This is my stats basically, and I've watched 10 shows apparently, and I have the badge of the binger, meaning I've binge watched many movies and TV series. So I go to profile. These are my stats and whatever it's been collecting about me. Most watched Making a Murderer, favorite late night genres, true crime, documentary, reality TV. Okay, and I go to the matches one. So there's Alex, there's Jordan, there's Sam. So I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable actually. So let's start with this one. See, what are these? Okay, so basically based on my watch history, it is recommending these people. So this is just another interesting app that we made today. So here's the plot twist. I shared some of these apps with a couple of friends of mine, and the best response was that Silent Date is just for like Finnish Tinder, and Finnish people confirmed this. This was the most fun response I ever got. And another person said, I met my husband on a normal app, but we would have met faster on Ghoster. That's really interesting to hear. So here's what's really happening here. We built these apps as jokes, but they actually solve real problems. Ghoster removes the anxiety of rejecting someone. Excuse Generator acknowledges that forced social interaction is exhausting. Silent Dates understands that presence doesn't require performance. And Netflix Profile Writer eliminates the facade of perfect presentation. These aren't antisocial apps. They're differently social, actually. They're for people whose love language is parallel play and whose idea of romance is they didn't make me talk before coffee. The dating app industry is worth $8 billion, and it's all built for extroverts. Today we just found another 8 billion. If you're related to any of these apps, you're my people, the quiet people, the I need 3 to 5 business days to respond to hey people. One of these apps is actually launching. I won't say which one, but it rhymes with Schmaster. Comment which app you'd actually download. Or don't comment. I understand. Lurking is valid participation. Subscribe if you want to watch me monetize social anxiety, or just watch silently from afar. That's also basically a subscription in introvert language. I'm Amir. I build apps quietly.